Hello and welcome back to LeeReader. My name is Lee and today's video is all about first editions. Now, I've mentioned before on this channel about how much I love having first editions of books. I don't know why, I just like to have them. Some of them I've stumbled upon accidentally, but I will go out of my way to get hold of a first edition. Not in the sense that if I think there's going to be a first edition that was printed years and years ago, that doesn't bother me so much, but if there is a book that is new and I have liked it, I try and get hold of a first edition as quickly as I can. I feel like going back and buying old first editions is kind of cheating. I think when you stumble upon them and when you get them kind of yourself or get them very early on, I think that's fairer in a way, almost. I don't know, does that sound weird? I don't know, but I want to show you some of the first editions that I have got, whether I have stumbled upon them, whether I didn't realise that I had them, or whether I found them on purpose. So the first one I'm going to show you is my copy of Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Now, this is probably my favourite YA book of the year. It is beautifully written, it is a brilliant, brilliant book. And I found this copy in Parnassus bookstore over in Nashville, Tennessee, and because we only have paperback copies, and I was so excited when I found out that it was a first edition, and it had the little first edition note on the inside, which is right there at the bottom. I don't know if you can see, but it is there, right there. It says first edition, and it is signed by Becky Albertalli as well, and I love this book so much. Like, I was so happy when I found this. The main reason I bought it is because I wanted a hardback copy of this book because I enjoyed it so much, and then it just happened to be first edition, which was wonderful because that makes everything better. So I'm very excited to be holding this. The next book I want to show you is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Now, I stumbled upon this in McKay's, which is like a second-hand book video CD store down in Nashville, Tennessee again, and I was so excited when I stumbled upon it because I loved The Hunger Games, and like I said before, we never got The Hunger Games in hardback, so we only got them straight to paperbacks. And I found this just sitting on a shelf. It was the only one there, and it's a first edition, and I was like, this is insane. Why would someone get rid of a first edition of The Hunger Games? Because The Hunger Games is such a popular series that it sounds crazy, but in a few years' time, when maybe The Hunger Games has died down a bit, if they're ever difficult to get hold of, I'll be able to say, oh, this is a first edition, and this might, you never know, this might be worth something one day. It's not why I bought it again because I wanted a hardback copy, but I can't believe someone would get rid of a first edition of this book because it's just so good. It's just so good. The next one on my list is Clary Out by Garth Nix. Now, I got this at the book swap, which was held at VidCon, and I didn't realise that it was a first edition. I've literally just looked inside, and it says first edition in there, so that is so cool. I've never read any of Garth Nix's works, so I probably should, but I was just excited because it's a first edition, again, and you never know. This could be huge. You don't know. Next come a series of books all by the same author, and that man is John Green. Now, I've been a massive John Green fan since early 2008 when I first started watching the Vlogbrothers. I became a nerdfighter pretty quickly, so I've seen the release of most of his books, apart from Catherine's and Alaska. But I wanted to get hold of them because they weren't printed in the UK. John was a very small author. I think the only one printed here was Paper Towns, and that took like a year after publication for it to be published here. And now John is huge, but I'm so glad that I have first editions of his books because it kind of shows that I've been following him a very, very long time. So let's have a look at them. The first one is my most recent acquisition, and that is Looking for Alaska. Now, this was a first edition that I found again in McKay's down in Nashville, the second-hand place. It's got a rip in the cover, which I'm so gutted about, but I have looked for so long to get a first edition of this book, and I just could not get a hold of it anywhere, and I stumbled upon it accidentally, so I had to have it. I was like, I have first editions of all these other books, so it is time to complete the set. And I know my friend Lauren was very, very annoyed when I got this because she'd been looking for it as well, so I'm sorry, Lauren, that I beat you, but I got it, and it's great. So yay. After Looking for Alaska comes An Abundance of Catherines. Now, this is probably my least favourite John Green book. I have only read it once, didn't really enjoy it, admittedly, but I had to get this edition ordered from like eBay or somewhere. I had to get it shipped from the States. It took so long to get a hold of. But again, it was an accidental first edition because I just wanted a hardback copy of it. So I found a hardback copy on eBay, I bought it, and it's a first edition, which is just wonderful. So yes, I mean, as much as I not dislike it, but as much as I didn't like it, it's still a good thing to keep hold of, and I'm still very happy that I have hold of it. I also really like this cover. It kind of goes round like that, and I think it's much nicer than the paperbacks that we have. I've already spoken about John Green's paperbacks here in the UK and how they're all pretty terrible covers apart from the Fault in Our Stars. But it's just a great cover, and I think they should change it back to this. Next comes Paper Towns, which is the first John Green book I read, and it is still my favourite of John Green's books. Again, I had to get this ordered from like eBay or somewhere stupid. I had to get it shipped from the States because I really wanted to read it, and it wasn't published here in the UK, so I ordered it from, like I said, eBay, Amazon, somewhere like that. It took me like 2-3 weeks to get hold of, but I got it. And again, it was only out in hardback, so it is automatically a first edition. Didn't realise at the time, but it's so cool that it is. And John has actually signed this for me. I met John at VidCon in 2012, and he signed it for me along with Hank, because I was like, I've been reading your work for a long time and I had to get this shipped from the States to England, so can you please sign it for me? So he did. Next comes probably one of the least popular John Green novels, in the form of Will Grayson. Now this book I love. I love Will Grayson. I thought the story was very well told. I love the characters in there. I think it was just great. David Levithan's and John Green's styles are completely different, so they really work well together. There's something about them that just works, and the characters work well together. Again, I think I bought this from Amazon. I think Amazon, for some reason, was selling it, whereas no one else in the UK was. So I bought it from Amazon, and I just love it. And I love this cover compared to the UK one now, though I love this paperback a little bit more. I think this paperback's a much nicer cover than this one, I think. Can you see those? Hopefully you can. But I still love them both. It's still a great book. And again, it's just great to have it as part of the collection. And last, but by no means least, is The Fault in Our Stars. Now, this is my signed copy of the book. I used to have an unsigned copy, because if you guys remember when the book was first released, they said anyone who pre-orders will get a signed copy. I was one of the unfortunate ones who pre-ordered and didn't get a signed copy, so I managed to find this in the store where I now work, weirdly enough, and I was so excited because it's signed by John, and I believe it's a green Sharpie as well that it is signed with. Is it? Yes, green Sharpie, because I was like, I think I had a choice of colours. I think there was like purple, black and green, and I was like, I'm getting green because John Green. So yes, this again, first edition. Very happy to have hold of this because as John gets ever more popular, these books are rarer and they're difficult to get hold of, so it's just nice to have. Keepsake, that's what they are, keepsakes. Now the last two books again are by the same author, and I so wish I could have had first editions of all of these books, but that would have been difficult. But these books are by J.K. Rowling. The first book by J.K. Rowling is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Now you may realise this is different from a lot of the UK covers. These are the original adult covers that were published when the books came out. They started doing adult covers. I got the adult covers because I think they look nicer. I have hardbacks of all the adult covers. Yeah, and this is a first edition. This actually came as part of a box set that I bought, and yeah, again, accidental first edition. For some reason, this one and the one I'm going to show you next were both first editions, but the rest aren't. But I did previously own first editions of The Goblet of Fire and The Order of the Phoenix, but I can't find them, and I'm so gutted. Not as bad, though, as someone I know who had first editions of the first 3 books and can no longer find them. I think that's worse because they are worth a lot of money. So these, again, they're just keepsakes. I love the Harry Potter books. I love Harry Potter. I love J.K. Rowling. So it's good to have all these books in hardback. And yeah, they're just wonderful books. They are great books. And everyone loves them, and to have first editions is just wonderful. And lastly, to conclude my list, is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Now again, it's the adult cover and it's got the Slytherin locket on there, which looks a lot different in the film than it does on the book cover, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Again, first edition came out around the same time as the children's cover, so they've got first editions of both. But again, it's a great book, and these covers are so beautiful. They're so beautiful. I love these covers of the books. All the adult covers I think look really nice. The original adult covers. The adult covers they're doing now I don't like as much, but the original adult covers look beautiful. And first editions, so yay. So that's it. Those are all my first editions. Let me know if you guys have any first editions of any other books, and let me know what you think. Do you like first editions? Do you collect them? Let me know in the comments below. We'll have a little bit of a discussion down there. So that's it for today's video. I hope you are all well, and I will see you next week with a brand new video. Goodbye. End of the video bit. So yes, let me know your thoughts on first editions. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you collect them? Are you not bothered? Let me know. Let me know about any first editions you may have as well, especially rarer books, things like the Harry Potter series, or even things like, even going back further than that, do you have you might have first editions of like The Lord of the Rings, or someone I know had a first edition of Alice in Wonderland and they bought it for like a £5 from a charity shop. So there's a fun fact for you. So let me know in the comments below. I hope you're all well, have lovely, lovely weekends, and I will see you next week with a brand new video. Until then, goodbye.